Breakfast Club. We have a special guest in the building. Now, this person, Charlamagne, has tried to be him on several occasions.
I don't know why y'all keep saying me and Joe look alike.
You didn't tell us about you?
Can we get into it? Okay.
It's got to be the bald thing.
It's just the bald thing. Bald and dark skin. Like all bald, dark skin guys.
We got Joe here, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe's in the building.
All right.
That came from Wiz Khalifa, though, because one night Angela Yee took a picture of me and I had on a black jean suit, and Wiz put on Twitter, he looked like Joe.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Wiz, man.
But no, on for real, there was a time that Charlamagne did impersonate you.
He did. Explain the story.
I was in Detroit.
I was good.
He just came from Detroit.
Out of all places.
This was years ago.
I forgot.
Years ago.
I
This is like
I remember the time, but this is a
07
different one.
maybe.
Go ahead.
And I texted the young lady, and she hit me back, and she was like, "Is this Mr. 563?"
Oh, wow.
And I was like, 563? I had to think about it. I was like, hold up, she think I'm Joe. Because I had just left the party that you had performed at.
Wait a second. Hold on a second.
Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep telling the story. Go ahead.
I mean, I just kept talking to her. I mean,
What'd you tell her? What'd you tell her?
You told her that her vagina
clearly
stinks.
Joe hit. And I told her vagina stinks.
Oh, no.
And I
He
told her,
definitely did.
I said,
And he pretended to be you, Joe.
I was like,
You said I hit?
no,
No.
I was talking to her. She thought I was you. So she
He
goes,
kept it going.
Yeah, she was like, so what you doing? I was like, yo, I'm at the room, whatever. And she was like, I want to come over. And I was like, nah, last time it was a little taut. You know what I'm saying?
No, but it continues. Go ahead.
You
Tell
talking
them
bad
the
about
rest.
Detroit right now.
She was like, well, thank you for letting me know that. A lot of guys wouldn't be so real. That's why I like you.
Wow.
Now tell him who the girl was.
I ain't saying all that now.
Don't tell him.
I'm
Don't tell him.
I'm going to keep that between us. I ain't saying all that.
Oh, man. You sound like you had a moment out there.
I see that. That's why she would have been. You know what? Yep.
Now, can we talk to Joe about music? Gosh.
Absolutely.
You would've
Got
back
your
out of that
It's
so
about
fast.
you today, baby.
You would have back out of that so fast.
Your new album, Bridges, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bridges is in stores, man. I dropped it in June 23rd. It's my number 11, number
Wow.
11 album.
It's been over
And,
20 years for you.
Yeah, it's a blessing. It really is a blessing. Very fortunate, to still be in the game. As y'all know, a lot of people have come and gone, and I'm real fortunate to still be here, and making some pretty decent music. I might add. I got to pat my own back on that one.
Oh, no, My Name is Joe was my album.
I appreciate
That
it.
was my go-to album in the bedroom for at least 4 years strong.
Oh, God.
Somebody Got to Be on Top used to be my record. When I didn't feel like putting in no work and wanted to be lazy, they were like, look, baby, somebody got to be on top.
Let her know. Let her know.
All the guys used to be mad at Joe, too, with some of those songs. All the things your man won't do. That is the
Woo!
ultimate.
Of course.
Hater
Treat It Like a
song.
Lady.
Absolutely.
What If a Woman. Yeah, I mean, it's been good, though. I mean, at the same time, I do get a lot of respect, a lot of love from the fellas as well. I just did a show in Detroit at Shane Park, and I did a little piece of, they say this is a big, rich town. And the dudes just stood up like, yo, that's my joint. You know?
That's you? On the Powers, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Why
It's,
I didn't know that?
man, it's crazy. I mean, the record is it's a beautiful New York record. As soon as I heard it, I said, I got to get on this.
You knew that, Yee? You knew that was Joe?
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that either. You
Yes,
were the,
sir.
you usually are the go-to guy for a lot of rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's been nice, man. From back in the day with Pun and all those
Yeah.
guys, and the joint with Mystical Stutter, and of course the G Unit
Word.
I did with them.
Right.
It's been I've been in the streets a little bit,
A little bit.
did you
Just
actually
a
have a
little bit.
relationship with Point, or that was just like a?
No, it was. I mean, we got a chance to do a lot of shows together, and real good brother, man. I miss him dearly, and we made history. I got to say, we certainly made history with Still Not a Player, and the record still plays today. So
Absolutely does.
And it's interesting to still be a veteran in this, at the same time the go-to person that, like, you're still doing songs with Fantasia, with Kelly Rowland. Everybody still hits you up.
I'm fortunate. I tell you, I'm very, very lucky. I got to say I'm blessed. My background, I think it really started from where I grew up. Being a kid in the church, and I played all the instruments. I wasn't a guy in the choir. I never wanted to be a chorus singer. Or I never set out to be a singer, to be honest with you. It was more so just about doing music. And I think because of that commitment to it, just continues to keep opening doors for me. And I'm very passionate and grateful about the gift that I have. So I want to take advantage of what I have that God gave me, man.
You from Columbus, Georgia, right?
Yeah, I'm from Georgia, Alabama. I was born in Georgia, but my pops is a minister.
Gotcha.
So he's an evangelist and traveled from little small town to small town, opened up a little small churches, about 5 to 10 members in them. And, yeah.
How'd you come up out them dirt roads, man?
I had to get out. It's one of those things where, it's not a lot of opportunities back in the days in the South. And I met some guys from Jersey. They had family in the South. And it was like, yo, this little kid is dope. I was about 15. And they invited me up to New Jersey, and I just didn't come back.
How did your father feel about that, though, from your religious background, about you getting into the industry?
Now you're making secular music.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I mean, they don't have a problem with the music that I write because it's respectful. But I think what he misses the most is having his right hand. You know, right hand is having his partner with him. Because I was always with my dad. You know, always supporting him in any kind of way.
Now, what do you think about R&B music now with all the young cats, August Alsina, Jeremiah? How do you think about music is now?
You know, it's cool. It's cool. I mean,
what makes it just cool? What doesn't make it great?
Well, it's at a point right now where it's heavily influenced by hip hop culture, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I like to see some artists write a little bit more passionate love songs.
It ain't no love songs,
something
man.
that can last for a lot longer than just right now.
That's not true. You love songs like Miguel.
Miguel, like the only one, to be honest. Like Miguel album was the last real R&B album from a dude. Like a male R&B singer, like an R&B album all the way through. I like Trey, but he's still hip hop influence too. You know.
Well, it's tough. I mean, you got the game unchanged, for one. You know, at the end of the day. But I think what's important is that we be inspirational and be artists that can inspire the next generation. And I mean that by not just being singers, but also being writers, producers, musicians. Take it to the next step. You know, don't search to just be an artist and a star and be famous. And I think sometimes artists come into the game for the fame, a lot of it, and sometimes the passion is not really there.
When I first met you, it was with Chico DeBarge, and you guys had did an album together. It was a great album. What's your relationship with him now? You know,
it's been a minute since I seen my brother. You know, he's went through a lot of things in his life, and I'm always in his corner. You know, anytime any of my friends need me. But when you're dealing with something and you're trying to get back on your feet, sometimes you just need to be on your own and do your own thing and kind of gradually come back. Eventually I think we're going to get back together and do some more music. And he's just trying to get himself back together.
Maybe y'all grab another guy like Avant and do like the TGT thing.
You know what, man?
Did you ever do something like that?
I've been approached by a couple of gentlemen in the game. Want to form a group, but I think solo is my thing. If it's gonna be a group thing, I'm gonna really want to have someone that's like myself, that can write, produce, play instruments. It's gonna be a real different type of group.
Who would it be? Like who would your ideal super group be?
I don't know. It's not a lot of people that play instruments out in the game right now, man. I can't really say. I know John Legend plays. He plays piano.
D'Angelo,
yeah, he's another piano player. But I like to get somebody. I play piano, drums, and guitar, so I can step on the guitar while John plays the keys, or D'Angelo and someone else on drums, maybe someone on bass. So I have a super group like that.
Who approached you?
Well, it's been guys like my boy Genuine, of course. Before that thing, they wanted me to be a part of the TGT thing.
Or
TGJ. TGTJ.
Yeah, who were they gonna take out?
Yeah, they thought that I could replace. I don't know why.
Tyrese.
Tyrese, but because of the dark skin. That's all it is.
Tyrese out there doing the movies. Hey.
Easier to manage though.
He's a big dog.
Tyrese a little hard to manage. It's easier to manage with y'all three.
Probably so.
Less ego. Tyrese my dog.
I wouldn't say that. Alone, man. I wouldn't say all that. I mean, I think Tyrese he's a big draw. I mean, he's a big name in the game. So it's kind of hard to replace a guy like that.
Now, recently I saw an interview that you did with Vlad where you said that R. Kelly was kind of blocking you because you guys are on the same label. And
it could only be one bald head R&B singer at a job.
Well, allegedly. Some things were said to certain DJs and program directors about my records. And I mean, it started from that back in the day, but we've moved on past it.
Does that happen a lot in the R&B world where other artists really try to block other people?
I don't hear it. I don't hear about it. I don't hear, but I think if it's a threat, yeah. I mean, I took it as a compliment, so to speak.
You feel like I'm a threat? Okay.
Yeah, I took it as a compliment because I mean he's a real G in the game to me. I mean, one of the best writers and prolific songwriter, producer. So I mean, I give him a lot of credit. So I mean, for him to try to attempt to do something like that, I took it as a pat on the back.
Are y'all cool now? Y'all spoke after that or not?
I mean, he's in his own world. I'm in my own world. I mean, I don't really rock with the Kells, but I got a lot of respect for him. We don't hang out. We played ball before.
Okay.
He's a ball hog.
He's a ball hog.
Weren't y'all supposed to do a record together at one point?
We he did a couple records for me. More and More was one of the singles that he wrote for me, and that's about it. That's as close as we got with it. But I think he's another dude that if everything was smooth with him, he could be a guy in the group. In my mind.
Now there was a rumor for a minute that you were married. A couple of years ago, they said you got married to Unique, who was on Flavor of Love.
Oh, congratulations,
That was
man.
crazy. Yeah, no.
Where did that come from?
No?
She said it was a rumor, and you congratulated
I'm just making sure.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? It's crazy how social media, the whole social media world like to want to build a story. I think that's what it was, and it seemed like it was something there, but nah, not at all.
As an R&B singer who's
I only met her that day.
Did you hit?
No, sir.
Just
took a picture and that was it.
Day?
Kept it moving.
As an R&B singer who's known for like making love songs and the ladies love you, did you ever have like pressure from the label to like, nah, you can't get married, don't be in a relationship, keep the single role image?
I think that was more so me giving myself pressure.
Got you.
Like understanding that a lot is going to come along with that, and I was too young to handle that. Being married at a particular age, especially when I was in the top of the charts. So it would have been very difficult for me traveling and still trying to hold a family together and keep a relationship strong like that.
Were you married to your manager?
No, I wasn't married to her. We were together for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
But
was that
I advise. I was just going to say, I advise people not to do that. I mean, that's not something you want to, go to bed with. You want to keep that separate.
That sounds like it's all bad. But you doing shows, women throwing panties, she throwing them back. It seems all bad.
It was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. But I mean, she was an incredible manager. My hat goes off to her. So I mean, she did everything she could, to help me in my career. So I can never take that away from her.
So when the relationship is over, you fired.
It's hard to mix business and pleasure, though.
So the relationship over, you fired. You fired. Doesn't matter what you did for my career. You fired. Damn it, man.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to move on with that.
How did you handle the domestic violence allegations against her? Because you've always been relatively free of scandal, other than that.
Well, that's just something that was really. I don't know what happened. I mean,
what scandal? What are you talking about?
At the end of me leaving, I think that's when all that started. It was like they would want to sort of be vindictive, so to speak.
What happened? Tell me. What happened? Tell me.
Well, it was an alleged thing that I physically abused my manager, which is not true. And so they put it all over social media. It became one of those things like, is he really that guy? And no, absolutely not. I would never, ever, put my hands on a woman. All right?
Okay.
Now, you still make a lot of money on the road, though, because you said that, you're not on the top of the charts now, but I mean, I'm sure you always tour.
Yeah, man. I just finished the tour with New Edition, and I'm getting ready to start another one.
With Bobby or without Bobby?
Yeah, Bob came through, man.
Just a couple times?
Trust me. I mean,
he had to leave, and then he came back.
Yeah, exactly. I think he, actually, the doctors gave him, a leave of absence, so to speak. And but he came out working every night. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Absolutely.
For that guy in particular, he's been through a lot, but he came out and showed up every night, and tried to give his best, gave his all.
It's easier for you, though. It's easier for you because you're a voice. You don't got to do all them splits and all that.
Thank God. That's too much. That's too much. I'm like, wow. I'm very fortunate to be sort of like the Luther Vandross in the game. I don't really have to do a lot. Just come up, sing your songs exactly the way you're supposed to be singing, give great energy, and the rest will follow, so to speak. And I'm just enjoying life, man. I mean, I think what it is, the passion that I have with this music, it's what I try to give my audience on stage. And I'll be at Marcus Garvey in the park. Summer Stage, yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Why'd you name your album Bridges?
Well, I had to. I just got out of a crazy business situation and had to keep moving.
You have a new manager and a new.
I have a new manager, absolutely. And so building relationships in my mind. When I titled the album Bridges, I was thinking about, okay, bridges is how we build our relationships.
True.
That's a metaphor for relationships, and I had to sort of burn a bridge and then build another one.
What was so crazy about your previous situation?
Financially, it wasn't what it should have been.
Taking too much percentage and.
Well, it just wasn't fair. I mean, at the end of the day, it just wasn't fair for me. And I just had to keep it moving. I don't want to speak too much on it because,
As someone who's been signed to a major label and now being independent, what do you like better?
Absolutely independent. I think the game is going to become all independent in a minute. There's not going to be any major labels. I think it's going to be mostly independent, because I think artists are going to want to take more control and want to do things themselves and reap the benefits at the end of the day.
But for somebody like you, because you were already established, you managed to establish yourself on a major label, going independent is a little bit easier than somebody that has never been signed and is.
And don't nobody know.
Right. Well, same thing. I mean, Cash Money came out independent, so to speak. And they were brand new. I mean, these guys got thrown so much money just because they believed in them.
Right.
And they proved them right. I mean, they set themselves up, for an incredible empire that they built. And so, yeah, I mean, opportunities for me are a lot easier because, I was on a major brand and had a chance to build my brand. But it's not difficult now. I mean, because you have social media, you have the internet,
all the things we didn't have.
the things we didn't have.
That's a gift and a curse too, though, because people that don't have no talent can just put stuff out and build fan bases, and you be like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
People really like this?"
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you probably got signed singing to somebody.
You know what? I was in a room and I did showcases. You know, back in the day, we had to do showcases. It was like 4 or 5 different labels in a room. Take, SRR, for instance. That's what I performed for Jive, RCA, Sony. You had 4 or 5 different labels in the room. And, after that particular audition, not really an audition, but sort of like a showcase.
Right.
Mercury was the first label I was signed to. They stepped up big time and wanted to hold a private showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I sang in front of the president and the vice president and got signed on the spot. I mean, it still can happen that way.
Right.
It can still happen with showcases. I just went to an event with Radio 1 and Clear Channel throughout the week. They presenting a lot of their new artists. And I saw Kurt Cobain perform.
Now talk closer to the mic because we ain't picking you up. Yeah.
Sebastian performed.
Michael.
He's a pretty good artist. I mean, I like the song that he has out. And they had a girl group I was really impressed with, 3 young ladies. And they were about maybe from 14 to 16.
Dollhouse?
That might be the name.
Dollhouse,
Are they from Detroit?
That's
I'm not sure where they're from, but
artist,
their blend, man, was spot on. And that's in my mind, that's a lost art
right.
when it comes to singers. I mean, nobody blends and harmonizes together anymore. It's just about, you come out, do your solo thing, you do your Beyonce or Rihanna, and then keep it moving. But I like to see groups now come out and sing together and blend. It's a beautiful sound. It's a beautiful thing when you got that.
Do you have any guilty pleasure songs right now that we'd be shocked to hear that Joe likes?
You know what?
That when that song come on, you'd be like, "This is my song," but I don't want nobody.
No, I don't really have any guilty pleasures.
You ever did the Shmoney dance?
I like, I do like different styles of music. I like the dance, the EDM, dance music world. I like that stuff. But I love hip hop, because I've been in New York and Jersey for a very long time. I started out listening to Run DMC, LL Cool J when I was young. So
who you like now?
As new rappers?
Yeah, new rappers.
I like 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz is cool. I know you don't like 2 Chainz.
No, I love 2 Chainz.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard you say he couldn't freestyle or something like that.
That was the other DJ.
that wasn't
DJ.
us.
That was another guy in another station.
Okay. Yeah,
Close
I mean, 2 Chainz is dope. I think his metaphors are different. Drake is cool.
You don't feel competition with Drake because he's an R&B singer too?
Stop it, man. Stop it, yes.
It's funny. Drake is doing his thing, man. Drake is doing his thing. And he's one of the first rappers that actually made it believable on both sides. So we got to give him credit for that. It's hard to do.
We appreciate you joining us this morning.
My pleasure, fam. Thanks for having me.
And the album Bridges is out now.
That's right.
Yes,
Make sure
indeed.
you get it.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Charlamagne, stop going to the airport acting like you Joe.
Listen, I'm going to take what I can take, okay?
Do your thing,
Joe,
fam.
Tyrese, I'm going to keep going with it, okay?
Hey, because if they call me, if they say I look like Charlamagne, I'm going to have to run with that too.
You better not. That's all bad.
That's when your career is completely hit rock bottom.
Yeah, Joe is
It's over
personally
for.
offended by that comparison. Okay?
It's the Breakfast Club. It's Joe.